Welcome back to Warriors News Fan Report, where every dribble, every shot, and every rumor sends shockwaves through the Bay. Tonight, we're diving into the most tantalizing whisper of the postseason, according to well-placed sources inside. The Warriors' front office, Golden State, is on the brink of a miraculous signing, a last-minute blockbuster that could reshape this Western Conference semifinal against the Timberwolves. Now, before you roll your eyes, hear me out. I'm speaking as a die-hard Lakers fan who respects greatness when I see it, and even I'm convinced this could be the move that tips the scales back in Steve Kerr's favor. The backdrop is brutal. The Warriors dropped a stinging 117-93 defeat in Game 2 at Target Center, their offense sputtering without Steph Curry lighting up the building. Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, and Jordan Poole battled valiantly, but the Timberwolves' 16-for-37 barrage from three-point range proved unstoppable. Draymond Green's defensive leadership shone, but even that couldn't mask the gaping hole left by Curry's absence. Now, the series is knotted at 1-1, and Game 3 looms large back in San Francisco, with Curry sidelined by a Grade 1 left hamstring strain, which could keep him out through Game 5. The Warriors need a jolt, something unexpected, explosive, almost cinematic. Rumors first surfaced on Tuesday, when a prominent NBA insider noted that the Warriors are quietly exploring a one-year hometown discount deal with a veteran all-star. The name hasn't been officially confirmed, but whispers point to Malcolm Brogdon, the former Sixth Man of the Year whose blend of three-point accuracy, savvy playmaking, and lockdown defense would slot seamlessly into Golden State's motion offense. Brogdon, out of the Heat's rotation and seeking a title shot, reportedly told confidants he'd wave a chunk of money to chase a ring in the Bay. According to league sources, Warriors brass viewed Brogdon's profile, shooting 41% from deep handling point-of-attack duties and anchoring second teams in Miami, as the perfect bridge until Curry returns. Now, let's speculate on why this makes sense. First, Golden State's bench has been exposed in this series. Pat Spencer and Moses Moody combined for 14 points in Game 2, while the Timberwolves reserves poured in a 48-point haul. Insert Brogdon, and the bench instantly gains a seasoned floor general capable of organizing the second unit, hitting wide-open threes, and playing high-IQ defense on Karl Anthony Towns' backups. His career playoff experience would add a calm presence when the crowd's roar becomes a future echo of dismay. Next, consider the spacing impact. With Curry sidelined, Kerr has leaned on two-guard lineups featuring Poole and Thompson, and small ball runs that leave Draymond chasing bigger wings. Brogdon's 6'5" frame and 40% shooting would preserve floor balance, preventing the offense from collapsing in the paint. Imagine a quick pick-and-pop with Wiggins, or a catch-and-shoot corner triple as Wiggins drives and dumps. That two-man game could sustain offensive fluidity while Curry rehabs. And don't forget the intangible. A new face arriving in a packed locker room can spark adrenaline. Brogdon's reputation as a consummate professional, studying film, mentoring young guards, and maintaining peak conditioning would elevate practice intensity. Young talents like Kuminga would see firsthand the work ethic required to thrive in playoff basketball. Even as a Lakers fan, I admire how Golden State fosters that championship culture, and adding a figure like Brogdon underscores their buy or borrow a champion mentality. But let's push the envelope further. What if it isn't Brogdon, but Mike Conley? The veteran point guard, now out of a Jazz rotation, fits the Bill Walton blueprint: tough defender, pure mid-range game, and elite pick-and-roll orchestrator. Conley, known for his late-game poise, could relieve pressure on Poole and Kuminga when the game clock ticks down. He'd bring a QB mentality to Kerr's offense, calling sets, threading needles, and orchestrating inbounds plays like a playoff play caller. For a team missing Curry's gravity, Conley's craft could be the glue that holds Golden State together until Steph's return. Of course, nothing's signed yet, and the NBA's tampering rules loom, but multiple executives have tipped that. Golden State has the cap space to absorb a mid-level exception, especially if they delay the transaction until Thursday, once roster freeze lifts. Itita Kerr's Magic Show menu is already astonishing. 4 championships, 2 finals runs in Curry's absence, and now they're poised for one final card, a championship veteran slipping in just as the Wolves smell blood. I'll be frank, as a Lakers die-hard, I've circled September 15th, 2025 as the opening tip-off of the next season, but even I want to see the Warriors pull this rabbit out of the hat. The Western Conference is a crucible of legends, and every team needs that one. Spark, that one unfamiliar face who arrives and says, "I'm here to win." If the rumors hold true, the Chase Center will erupt like never before, and Minnesota's dream of sweeping the dynasty will evaporate in a single breathtaking sequence of backdoor cuts, cross-court feeds, and cold-blooded triples. So, buckle. Bow up, Warriors fans. Keep your push notifications on and your popcorn ready. This front-court miracle could drop at any moment. And when you hear the first whispers of a new jersey hanging in the locker room, trust that you saw it here first on Warriors News Fan Report, because speculation is the lifeblood of postseason intrigue, and nothing stokes the flame of hope like the promise of one more legend answering the call. Next, we'll project exactly how this new addition, whether it's Brogdon, Conley, or another surprise, would fit into Kerr's rotations, which lineups will flourish, and how this could set the stage for a Game 3 stunner. The saga continues. Stay locked in. Now, let's imagine the concrete impact of this mid-series acquisition on Golden State's rotations and game plans. If the Warriors land Malcolm Brogdon, for instance, expect Kerr to stagger lineups more creatively. Brogdon with the second unit, alongside Kuminga and Draymond to form a small ball group that can pressure the ball, close out on shooters, and still knock down threes. He'd slide into those 8 to 12-minute spurts where the bench once wilted, keeping the second unit within striking distance until Curry returns. On defensive assignments, Brogdon's versatility allows him to switch across positions 1 through 3, matching up with players like Malik Beasley or Nickeil Alexander-Walker. That cuts down on easy looks and forces Minnesota into more contested, mid-range possessions, exactly the kind of grind-you-out defense Kerr covets late in playoff games. Offensively, Brogdon's pick-and-roll IQ is off the charts. Picture him, setting a screen on Cat's man, rolling and bursting to the rim if left unattended, or popping for an open 3 when Wiggins or Poole drive. These actions force the Wolves' defense into rotations that open up shooters on the perimeter. Every possession becomes a chess match, and Brogdon's veteran instincts tilt the board in Golden State's favor. If instead, the Warriors secure Mike Conley, they get a masterful orchestrator who can run the city. Conley commands respect from defenders, baiting them into overplaying and punishing them with precise passes. In late-clock scenarios, Kerr could deploy a Conley-Wiggins 2-guard lineup, leveraging Conley's ball control and Wiggins' leaping athleticism for a lethal pick-and-pop or drive-and-dish combo. Conley's steady hand would also alleviate playmaking duties from Poole and Kuminga, reducing turnovers at critical junctures. Beyond X's and O's, the psychological jolt of adding a proven winner cannot be overstated. Walking into the locker room and seeing a new face, someone who has savored playoff victories, lifts spirits immeasurably. It sends a message to the players. Management believes in our mission so much they'd break their own roster rules to bolster our chances. That statement of confidence can freeze out self-doubt and spark the collective belief needed to overcome a 1-1 deficit on the road. Let's also examine how Minnesota might respond. The Timberwolves could counter by tightening rotations, riding Towns more aggressively, or exploiting mismatches off Brogdon's side. But every strategy they deploy will be undermined by the simple fact that the Warriors are now deeper, more nuanced, and unpredictable. In a series of adjustments and counter-adjustments, Golden State will regain the initiative. Of course, there's a risk to any last-minute signing. The newcomer must acclimate instantly. but that's precisely why Kerr's track record matters. He's shown an uncanny ability to integrate new pieces seamlessly. Look no further than the end-of-season runs with Gary Payton II or Nemanja Bjelica in past years. Kerr's culture emphasizes clarity, spacing, and ball movement, allowing new signs to plug in and contribute on day one. Here's my personal take as a fan who's watched decades of Bay Area basketball, and who also roots for any epic narrative, even at the expense of my Lakers bias. I wouldn't bet against this happening. Golden State runs on momentum, and right now they're tantalizingly close to shifting the series back in their favor. A savvy front office maneuver would be the perfect catalyst. The ripple effect: Steph's teammates buoyed, the crowd electric. In Game 3, Crawford, contending with a renewed squad, could transform a 1-1 split into a 3-1 advantage by the time Curry returns in full force. We've seen the power of one spark: the return of Klay Thompson in 2019, the mid-season acquisition of Andrew Wiggins in 2020. They both reshaped destiny. Now, on the cusp of elimination, the front office has one final chance to conjure a playoff phoenix out of the ashes of Game 2. Imagine the headlines: Warriors summon secret weapon, flip script on Timberwolves. It's the kind of story that defines legacies. Whether it's Brogdon, Conley, or another veteran bomber, the message is clear. Golden State won't go down without a fight. They will scour the market, make the call, and sign the seal that says, "We believe in this. Run." For fans who cherish the thrill of playoff drama, these next 48 hours offer the promise of a story twist worthy of the dynasty's storied past. So, buckle up, Warriors faithful. Keep your eyes peeled for official word, because if even a whisper becomes a signature, we're on the verge of witnessing a mid-series miracle. And once the ink is dry on that contract, we'll see a resurgence that reminds the NBA why the Warriors are still the gold standard of playoff resilience. The saga continues. Stay locked into Warriors News Fan Report for every update, every analysis, and every moment of this unfolding epic. Let the finals of the West Championship begin anew.